Good morning. Today I'm in a 2016 Fiesta ST. So right off the bat, the specs for the Fiesta ST, it has a 1.6 4-cylinder turbo engine. It makes around 180 wheel horsepower stock. This specific one is modified. It has an intake, intercooler, exhaust. I think it has a Cobb tune. It has coilovers, wheels, tires, rear sway bar. This one makes around 210 wheel horsepower, so a little bump up from factory, but nothing major. Seems like a lot of the work was done in the suspension. So starting with the interior, it's actually surprisingly nice. I'm really honestly blown away with how nice the interior is on this car. Just the touch points in general. The layout, when you're sitting in the driver's seat, it kind of looks like you're in like a Ford Transit, like the work van. Exact same layout. Steering wheel is the same shape. The center console is the same shape. It's kind of like if you work in construction or in any field where you drive a Ford Transit, if you get one of these, you're gonna feel right at home because it's just like the Ford Transit. But other than that, the touch points, the materials, everything in here feels really nice. There's a bunch of different textures. It's not just all one cheap kind of plastic. There's a nice padding over here where your arm goes. Everything in here feels good, and it's not all crunchy. Like, I can push on things and it feels really solid, honestly. I'm very surprised for it being a Fiesta ST, the lower model to, the Focus ST, the Focus RS. Yeah, pleasantly surprised in the interior. Speaking of the interior, the seats, they're factory Recaro seats, and these are some bolstered seats. I'm a 32 waist, and I feel like I'm being grabbed. Like, I sit in, and I feel like I'm being choked by some sort of entity that's just grabbing my body and just locking me in. These are very narrow seats, probably not the best for plus size people. I think the Fiesta ST does come with different seats if you don't want the factory Recaros, or at least these Recaros. They may come with different seats. I know they're a little bit wider. I test drove one a long time ago. It didn't have these. These are amazing seats though, super comfortable. I love the material. It's not like 100% leather. It's got some nice like padding, very comfortable seats. Back seats are like kind of matching, which is really cool. In terms of size in here, it's quite small. It almost feels like a Miata's worth of interior space, aside from obviously the back seats and the trunk, which have surprisingly a lot of legroom and a decent amount of trunk space. I gotta say, this car packs a lot for being a small package. It is so weird how the car just feels big, but it is really small at the same time. It also has Apple CarPlay, which is really nice. This is a 2016. I know they started producing these a couple of years before 2016, so I don't know if those have Apple CarPlay, but having Apple CarPlay in the center is really nice, and it is touchscreen, which is also pretty cool. Yeah, pretty intuitive. The cup holders back here, they kind of get in the way of your shifting, and then you have like a center console, which is so mega tiny that I don't know what you're putting in there, but I guess if you're throwing a couple things in there, it could work. Other than that, not a whole lot of storage in the car, but you do have the back seat and you do have the trunk. So without further ado, let's start the engine and take it for a rip. All right, so right off the bat, what I'm noticing is the clutch feels like it pushes in so much further than the gas and the brake. So I feel like my feet are really close to the gas and the brake, but the clutch is kind of far away. And I'm not the tallest person. I come in at 5'4", so kind of short. And for being a smaller car, I feel like the clutch should be at least a little bit closer in, or not have such a long, push. I like the way the gas and the brake feels. It's not electronic, just what I like. So the suspension is definitely stiffened up from these coilovers. It's a little bit wet today, so I don't want to take it too hard. I love the sound of that turbo and the blow-off valve. That is so funny. Oh my goodness, the torque steer. Oh, it has so much torque steer. You get on it and it's just like, oh, which way are we going? It's like a gamble. Oh my goodness. What a road. This thing eats it up. It feels so point and shoot. It feels like it's really planted on the ground over here. Jeez. I'm getting, it's giving Miata. It's giving Miata vibes, but with the mini JCW kind of hatchbacky power feel. But oh my god, yo, the torque steer! I have no idea where we're going. That is so funny. Oh my goodness, that is a dramatic acceleration. It doesn't feel crazy fast, but it's fun. It's really fun. Oh my god, it's so fun. It's so fun. Oh. Alright, so with the rest of the ergonomics, like, yeah, I did say that the seats kind of pull me in. I feel that way with the steering wheel too. The steering wheel has such a nice shape to it. It really like locks your hands in where you want them. The shifter, it's a little weird that it's so far down. I almost wish it had like almost like a Honda EP3 or Honda Element type shifter, where it's up here. I feel like that would make a lot more sense for this kind of car, but I guess they wanted to like use this space to do something. But wow, this is really a point and shoot type car. Where you're pointing is where that car is gonna go, and the steering feels so nice. You feel so connected to the road. I feel like, and it's so agile. Really a great design of a car. It's so small yet so big at the same time in so many ways. That's so fun. I don't know how anybody could drive this car and not have fun in it. So the acceleration is not nearly as impressive, obviously, as higher horsepower cars, given you get a Focus ST, a Focus RS, any other kind of boosted 4-cylinder, maybe a GTI or a Golf R, but it's dramatic and it's so fun and it feels so planted. I feel like a rally driver in this thing just because of all the torque steer. It's crazy. That's so fun. That's proper fun. If you want to feel like a rally driver, get yourself one of these and you're gonna be like steering all over the place. Shifting feels really good. Clutch is super easy to use. It's super light. This car really is like if you mixed a Miata and like a GTI. Gotta have that signature blow-off valve sound. Let me see if I can get some of it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it goes. Sounds good too. It's like a little chicken nugget. So I know it gets pretty good gas mileage. It's around like 20 something city and then like 30 something highway. So definitely something you could daily drive, especially with the space too. It's front wheel drive. It's so fun. Okay, so the best car that I could compare this to is a Mini Cooper R53, which is like the supercharged version, and a Fiat 500 Abarth. I think those are its direct competitors. How does it stack up with those competitors? I think, honestly, it comes out on top in so many categories. Definitely has the best acceleration of the three, between the Mini Cooper, the Abarth, and of course the Fiesta ST. It definitely has the best acceleration, and most fun acceleration for sure. Neither of those cars have nearly as much torque steer as this, and while it may be somewhat dangerous, it is extremely fun and kind of addictive. In terms of handling, I think the Mini Cooper feels more like it's on rails, but less stiff, if that makes any sense. It's almost like the Mini wants to be thrown around, this thing can just take it. This thing, I feel like this car is so good on like a full track, while the Mini would be better in like an autocross. Or like on these back roads. I feel like the Mini would rip these up. But the Fiesta, it's a little hesitant just because of this. Oh my god, the turbo. The turbo really works in this car, jeez. Yeah, taking it a little light just because of the wet. But yeah. It's so fun. The turbo comes on like kind of late. It's kind of funny for such a small car, such a small turbo. It's like, why is there turbo lag? But there is, and it's fun. That is really nice. Oh, that's so fun. The brakes feel great. Acceleration is so fun. This is one of the more fun cars that I've driven, and in like a safe way. I don't feel like I'm pushing any limits, you know? But I feel like it's handling better than a lot of cars that I've driven. Just a rear sway bar, coilovers, wheels and tires. That's it for suspension, which is most of the suspension, but it really makes a difference. Oh my. I think that the cluster could use a little work. The dashboard is a little bit old-fashioned. It's very classic, just tachometer, speedometer, and then the digital screen in the middle is kind of like lacking. It almost feels like it's super outdated. Like I would see that screen on an 04 Avalanche. If they just modernized this cluster a little bit more, the car would feel like it's brand new almost. But yeah, super fun, super easy car to drive. I think it would make it an amazing daily driver. Like, am I gonna buy this car to go to the track and like rip around? No. Am I gonna buy it to daily drive? Yeah. Say my race car breaks down, am I taking this to the track? Sure, why not? Like, it could take it. If your race car breaks down and you need your daily to pull up at the track or at the autocross, this is a great substitution for that. Visibility is not great out of this car. This A-pillar kind of gets in the way of seeing a lot. The Cobb tuner doesn't help, but like, okay, the blind spots are not bad, but the front visibility it could be better. That's really my only complaint about driving the car. All right, so let me wrap this up. We're gonna give it ratings. So if you're new, I do 2 ratings, really 3. So the first one is out of 100, sport category, just, you know, on its just raw sportiness, how it feels to drive as a sports car. And then out of 100, I do on its daily ability, how I would feel it would drive as a daily driver. And then the final verdict is, would I buy one, yes or no? So for the sport category, after driving this along these back roads, I haven't really hit the highway. I'm gonna have to give this like a 90. This is, it's very nimble, and it feels super light on its feet. It's only 2,700 pounds. It's got 210 horsepower. It sounds like a great formula. I just don't know what's stopping me from giving it a higher rating, honestly. But I felt more, I felt like this is not so much like of a sport-oriented car as it is a car they made sport-oriented for no reason. So yeah, 90 is where this is gonna sit on sport, which is an amazing rating. Anyways, it's super fun around the corners, super fun to accelerate. That's gotta be the most fun part of the car, is the acceleration and that torque steer. It is a blast. Moving on to the daily ability category. For daily, like, the only thing stopping this from being the perfect daily is being all-wheel drive. Like, being front-wheel drive is the only thing that stops it from being 100. So I'm gonna have to give this like a 96 for daily ability. Lots of space, super comfortable. All touch points are nice. It's not an uncomfy seat. It's just tight. It grips you, the seat. It's great on gas. Has lots of space. You can put people in the back comfortably. There's tons of legroom. You have a trunk. It's so much fun as a daily. I think it's way more of a daily than it is a sports car. So this is my friend Alyssa's car. Her Instagram will be in the description. Go check out her Instagram. She's a photographer. She shoots amazing photos. If you live on Long Island and you want some photos, make sure you hit her up. Alyssa, thank you for letting me review your car. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any cars you want me to review, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to accommodate for anybody and for any car you want to see. I hope you stick around. I hope you consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.